Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Wait, what is Tabitha Brown? What was her song? Was it Welcome in the Room? That was Tabitha Brown's song. So it is kind of like playing in my head. All right, let me just go over here. Let's share this out. Let's make sure that we are on the right audience, and also let me throw some chapstick on my lips. I can already tell. I actually just had ice, so they are pretty white looking from me just chomping on ice. So let me go ahead and just take care of that. Throw a little bit of Carmax on there real quick. Okay, there we go. Put a little Carmax on there. Let me look up here. Okay. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. Welcome in. As you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. Let me know where you guys are watching from. And let's change our audience to public. And let's get this all shared out. Oh, it's taking forever to send as a post. All right, there we go. I'm being lazy today. I know it's probably going to affect how like the distribution of this, but I'm being really lazy, and I'm just hitting share. Like I'm not putting a caption with it. I'm just hitting share. I know it's not good. Not good to do that. Trust me, I know. But I'm just going to hit share. Alrighty. There we go. So drop a hey, how you doing as you come in? Hello. Incredible greetings and welcome. So we're going to let this notification do its thing, get all out to folk, get them on the live. It's 6:25 on a Saturday. I mean, those who like to go out are probably gearing up to go out. I don't really do much. Like, I don't go out anymore. I'm just a mom. I say just a mom, but I don't really go out like that anymore. So I'm here and I'm like, it's the weekend. Let me go ahead, hop on with my peeps, see if we can't help some people be great, be incredible, be amazing in all of their creative endeavors, their entrepreneur journeys, as they're gearing up for whatever they're going to sell for Black History Month, graduation, Mother's Day. Actually, before we even hop before that, we still got to get through Valentine's Day, Easter. I know those are big ones for crafters and creatives who make customized, personalized items. You guys have to kind of filter through seasons. For me, I'm not big on for others and like selling to people for Valentine's or Easter. I used to, I've done some Valentine ones before. I just kind of keep it. The way I do mine is nothing like how the crafters do theirs, because I'm just like, that's just too much. Some of what they're doing. But I actually did pretty well when I was doing that, but I had more time to advertise and things of that nature. My focus is on other things, so I don't want to put the time in it because I can't actually market it. And I was never into really doing Easter baskets and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and buy one. Now, my grandmother used to make them for the kids, and I actually kind of got into making them, but I didn't make them like your traditional baskets. It's a few years where I made MJ a towel cake, where the base of the basket that had all of the more so gifts and then candy and stuff on there. I would make that one. Last year, Zainimani got the big box. And that was more so for the only reason why he got that is because I need it for a class. I may go to the store, get a little $15 basket. They got 4 or 5 pieces of candy. I can go to the store. I can go buy the other candy if they want and just kind of have it there. But just display of a basket, I've just never really been into that. So I don't really do a lot. I've never done a lot for Valentine's and Easter. I am in the mindset of grad, a little bit of, Mother's Day and Father's Day. but more so like I'm already in grad mode. We're actually starting our grad program, our grad master program, which I teach you everything about graduation season and selling. That's actually going to start not next week, the week after that. So we're already in the mindset of like grad over here. So thank you to the person that said bless you. All right, so give you guys time to come in. So hello, incredible greetings. Hey, Princess. Hey, Teresa. Hello from Iowa by way of California. Feels like I've missed a lot. I don't know. Why you say feel like you missed a lot? Thank you. Hello. Thanks for the bless you. Hi, my summation is printing blue and not green. How do I get the color I need? Have you pressed it? This is where you want to do a test. Most times your sublimation prints for certain green colors will come out looking blue, but once you press it, it will be green depending on the printer that you have. Now, if you are someone that has a converted printer like the 15,000, the 8550, the 2803, things of that nature, certain green colors you're not able to accomplish without having like the exact color code and knowing the exact color code because you have a color chart. If it is a design that like you just like, you know, especially if it's AI, it might be that you're not going to get that green color. A lot of those who do sublimation with converted printers, and it like I'll tell you right now. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna let you know right now because they're in the Super Bowl. If you are someone who has or plans to do Super Bowl designs for the Eagles with a converted printer, that is the hardest color to get to come out properly from a converted printer. You are going to have to do some tests where whatever image it is, don't just print it out to automatically put it on a shirt, put it on a tumbler, get you some scrap fabric, get you some like the kind of like not so shiny polyester and some like super shiny, like the pillowcase from the Dollar Tree, and you want to press it to that and test it on there. Oh, my phone wasn't here. You want to test it on that, and then even though it's going to look crazy on your screen, you are going to probably need to play around with the colors, whether it's adding more, because you know you have like RGB. You could take away some of the blue, add a little bit more green. If you're like, depending on which program you're in, playing around with like the levels and adding a little bit more yellow to it, you are going to have to play around with it. It is going to look crazy on screen. I'm telling you, it's going to look crazy on screen, but you will have to play around with your colors in order for you to get that Philadelphia Eagles green. I'm telling you right now. Anybody that plans to make anything for the Super Bowl via sublimation with a converted printer, test them colors now. Test them now. Okay? Test them now. Especially if you have a converted EcoTank printer. Now, I see you here saying the 7720, but the colors tend to come out a little bit better. Like you can get lime greens easier. I don't have an issue getting like that, that Eagles green with my 7720, like with the prints and things that I use. But when it comes to the EcoTank printers, the ones that are dye-based ink, you're going to have issues. Test those colors now. Test out different print settings. Do it where it's small and you're able to press it to some scrap fabric, a shirt that you messed up. I'm telling you, look, don't come back in 2 weeks from now. I'm like, I'm telling you now. But yeah, test it, press it. Like, so for you, just go ahead and press it to something. Even if you're like, okay, well, I don't want to waste this big print. Take that print, reprint it out, like make it smaller, reprint it out, press it to some sort of scrap fabric, because there are certain shades of green that will print blue, but will not sublimate blue. You have to press it to check it. The print itself is not going to be an indicator of whether or not it's going to press green. Okay. But she says, yes, some things do come out more bluish. Hey, Dawn. I've done videos though, and I've shown that look at how this is. It prints out like it looks blue, but it presses green. So I've done a few videos on that topic. But you won't know until you press it. That's going to be the first thing you have to do. My 7310 and 7210 took oh no, you lost your workforce printers. Good thing I brought an extra 8550. Do know that the colors are going to be different. So go into it expecting your colors to be a little bit different. Like if you did something previously on the 7210 and 7310, and you're like, let's say you're going to print out the same exact one if you had like a repeat order, do know that those colors are going to be different, and you may have to make some adjustments to the file itself so that when it prints out and it's sublimated, it gives you the right color. So you may have to have like a file, like save that file, like it's a regular file that might work for digital and, you know, maybe for like a regular standard printer, laser printer, but for your sublimation prints with the 8550, you're going to need to have that image where you adjust the, colors or adjust settings and things of that nature. It might look different on screen. We don't care about what it looks like on screen. What we care about is once it's printed out and you press it, what does it look like then? So you may have to, you know, it's going to take some getting used to with going from a pigment ink printer that you converted to a dye-based printer, because it's going to be totally different. Okay. Yes. So with those repeat orders, I would highly recommend some of those you print them out and put them to scrap fabric so that you can see the difference. If it's on something like a mug or a tumbler, I have several mugs and tumblers that I call them test ones. And so I never print the whole design. Even if I print the whole design out, I'm going to cut it down to like a strip or cut out like a little piece, tape that to the mug or tape that to the tumbler, and I'm going to sublimate that so that I can see it on it. So I have several tumblers that have like all sorts of things on it because they're just tester ones. So test it out first. Like when I say test, I do not mean to do the entire tumbler. Okay. Do not do the entire tumbler, the entire shirt, the entire mug. Even if you happen to print it out already and it's big, you're not quite sure, cut a little piece of it, put it to something, press it and test it, especially for your repeat orders, because the colors could be different. Now, it might just be a slight difference to where they're not going to notice, they're not going to care. But if you put them side by side, you just might see the difference. But just protect yourself by testing that beforehand, okay? Oh, that is definitely true. It does depend on the surrounding colors. And I'll tell you guys why, right? That's happened even in like regular printing, like how dark something comes out. This happened to me with not a sublimation print, with a regular standard print. It was of Mufasa, like the cartoon version of the original version. And when I did like a split, right? Because it was like trying to do the print and cut and they were split and I put them together. You know, his mane it's like reddish, right? It has more, it's going to use more of the magenta tones. So for that part that had his mane on it, because it has like all of this magenta in it, when it came to his body, which is more of an orange, it was a different color than the second print, where that second print started with just his body. And so the colors were different and it drove me nuts. So my fix for that was I end up putting on the side, like I made rectangles and I sampled the color from his mane and had them like just on the side. That way it's like however it was like printing out to where it was like outputting that magenta first. That was the only way that I can get the body that was on the first part to match the body on the second, because they kept coming out different colors. So that is a really good point. Thank you for pointing that out, that what's around it definitely will affect the colors, because the print heads are trying to output the ink to color like all parts of it. So if something is like vastly different from it, it's going to affect how those ink jets are firing off. Incredible greetings. hey, just say one image that I have, the green looks okay, and then I have another one that have certain colors around the green, makes it look more bluish. But is it the exact same green, right? So this often happens as well, where someone's like, oh, I have this one green, like it prints out fine, and then this one doesn't. But is it the same? Like if you were to go and sample the hex code for those green areas from both of those, how far like apart are they? So sometimes like when you sample the hex code, you can see where that color selector, where it will move to. And then you select another one. It might be like in a totally different range, closer to like one of the other colors. So just because something is green and one version of green prints out correctly, it doesn't mean another version will print out, because we also have to remember greens can look very similar on screen because of the RGB factor. Like screens are in RGB. Although we don't always use the CMYK like, setting, because if you're printing from like Silhouette or you designed it in Canva and you're just printing out like the JPEG image, you're not going into a system and changing it to CMYK and seeing how those colors change and mute, like how they're muted down. Hold on. I feel so weird because I feel like y'all are only looking at half of my head. What was I saying? Because you're now printing it out in CMYK, the way it's going to mix those colors is going to be different. So it might look slightly the same on screen, but it's going to print out differently. So be mindful of that. It doesn't matter if you're using my ink, anyone's ink. It's the fact that you are using an 8550 that is a dye-based printer, and you're using sublimation ink that's meant to match a pigment ink printer. So it doesn't matter if it's our ink, anyone, you are using a printer that is a totally different type of ink. So you would have those issues no matter whose ink you're using. So now, as far as which printer do you buy for regular printing and you want to, now if that, okay, so now I see that goes before that. So if you're wanting to get a printer, like for regular printing, like for chip bags, for, I just did some fans and things like that. So if you're wanting a regular printer, but you're still wanting to use, honestly speaking, ink, the only option that you have, hear me. I'm always going over this with printers. The only option you have is the 16600, 16650. That's the only option you have. That is the only pigment ink EcoTank printer. Outside of that, you are using the 7310. But we know that, with the issues with the cartridges and chips, well, more so the chips, it's not good to use that one for regular ink. So you're going to end up going to either the 8550, or you can go to the large format Canon TC20. The colors do print a little bit weird to me when you're printing from the sheets, because of the way that the their settings are different when you're printing from sheets versus the roll, which is so weird to me, because you would think that they would have the same options. They don't have the same options. So you can get a Canon TC20, which it does take sheets, but it's more so for it to be a roll printer. Or you can get an 85, not an 85, I should say 8550, a 16600. So Epson 16600, which is about $1,000, or Canon TC20, which is about $700, I think, and you will be able to still use the pigment ink. Any other printer, 8550, 48, whoever, 28, you cannot use the pigment ink. Moving from California to our my Epson 15000 got a bad clog that I'm not able to get out. I've changed the maintenance box. Maintenance box has nothing to do with your print head, so changing that would have done nothing for you ever. Flushed out the lines and replaced the print head to no avail. What should I do? Throw it away? I'm sorry to say. So even with printing, okay, so you can change out the print head. The print head isn't always the issue. The issue a lot of the times is the lines, right? So with these EcoTank printers, it's with the cartridge-based printers, the cartridge sits right on top of the print head. there is nothing for it to really travel through. If you get a clog, it's easier to kind of push it out. You can change out a print head and the ink is just going to flow. Well, with the EcoTank printers, that initial initialization where it goes, and you fill it up and then you hit the button and then it starts to pull that ink and then it's like a letdown. That just reminded me of breastfeeding. Because so you pull that ink and it's a letdown. What happens a lot of times when these printers back up, it's not necessarily the print head. People think that, oh, it's a print head clog. It's not a print head clog. It's the air or the ink backing up in the tubes. It's the it's the system of the mechanism not pulling that ink enough to pull it all the way through where it's reaching the print head. So you may not have had a clog in your actual print head. So when you changed it, what happened was no ink is pulling. Like that's something totally different. Like it's really, really hard to go and change that where you are removing the line and it's going to backflow. With EcoTank printers, once that ink starts to backflow or air gets in there, it's really no way of fixing it. You can try Power Clean, which is supposed to have more pressure to pull the ink and pull it down, but most times it does not work. So unfortunately for you, that printer is now a paperweight unless you are going to take it to someone that's an actual repair shop, and like they basically refurbish printers because they'll be able to change everything and basically like reset it up to where it's like gonna have to go through the initializing process and it's gonna then pull and pop whatever seal it is so that the ink can flow. So that's the only thing. But if you take it to that type of print shop, you're going to end up paying sometimes close to the same amount as you purchased that printer for. Or like, not say the same, well, if you end up getting like the 2800, like all of those, it's going to be about the same. But if you have something like a 15,000 that you paid 700 for, you can save money because they might charge you around like $150 to completely like basically refurbish that printer. So like when you send the printers back in to like Epson and they have to do, they refurbish it, they are setting it all the way back, clearing it all out. They reset everything. And then once you put the new ink in, it's going to pull that like it's a brand new printer. But there's a certain way that has to be programmed and set up, and you can't really do that at home. So unfortunately, it's a paperweight. So let me get this straight. I can't just buy a regular printer and use your ink. No, you cannot. All printers do not use the same ink. There is a very big difference between dye ink and pigment ink. Very, very, very big difference between the two. So no, you cannot just go buy a regular printer that uses dye ink, whether it's in a cartridge or if it's in a bottle. If that printer, when you're looking it up, like for Epson, if it doesn't have Dura-Bright ink as the type of ink that it used, you are not going to be able to use this. Dura-Bright ink is just the model name, or like that's like the brand or type of ink. But at the end of the day, it is Dura-Bright. I mean, it's pigment ink. They just call it Dura-Bright ink. That is their name, like their branded name for their pigment ink, which is like this. If it does not say Dura-Bright ink, it is dye ink. And you cannot, all inkjet printers are not created equal. You cannot just interchange inks. Okay? A 15,000 is a dye-based ink, if that's what you mean. Because, well, I'm not sure, a 1550, I'm not sure if it meant to be a 15,000, but a 15,000 is dye ink. You no longer can use this ink, no matter how much. I know, kind of sucks. You may have all this ink, but you can no longer use this ink if you have a 15,000. Well, I didn't want to hear that because I thought that was what you were going to say. It's been driving me crazy. Like one of my printers is acting up and I only have one more 7720 left. So I'm like, yep, it's going to be to a point now where I'm going to have to spend $1,000 and I'm going to have to get me an Epson 16600 because all of my $300, $100 printers are about to be like out of commission. So I'm going to have to get the 16600 and I'm going to have to spend $1,000. And I'm just like, because I mean, it wouldn't be so much if I was actively doing these things all the time. Now I more so teach. And I'm going to be moving away from even a lot of teaching, and the things I'm going to be doing is going to be totally different, and I won't really need those printers. I'm not going back to full on like creating and crafting and making that the main part of my business. I'm going to be doing a lot more consulting and things like on a different level, like just really utilizing the knowledge that I have and the skills that I have. Trying to set some things up to talk to schools and talk to kids about financial planning and just like understanding things like credit and wealth building. We're working on Zip Learning. I'm not trying to do like the things for Zip Learn, like the prototypes will come from these printers, but I'm not trying to do it that way. So I'm like, it's like every once in a while, if I'm doing certain things, I want to kind of have the printer. So I'm just going back and forth on whether or not I want to spend that like once this last printer kind of goes out. So I'm just kind of in between right now. I can't stand. So you've been going for a while. You must have forgot. I don't like Ecotech printers. I will tolerate the 16600 and the 16650 because they use pigment ink and they've been known to not operate the same way. Like when they made that Ecotech, I guess because it's a thicker ink and how they like they have to have the mechanism to pull through this like thicker ink. But when they went down to all those other ones, I'm like, they lost their ever loving mind. I personally don't like desktop or cheaper, I'm gonna say Ecotech prints, but any print, well, yeah, it's really Ecotech because there are printers that are not Ecotechs, but they still have lines, right? So like my Roland BN20, that's a cartridge-based printer. The ink is like the ink is on the side. There are tubes or lines that feed the ink to the print head. That's a little bit different. I think when it's a cartridge, it just pulls different. With a lot of these Ecotanks, they clog too easily. The air backflows in them too easy. So I'm just not a fan. Now, I have the Canon TC20, and now it's my fault in why I can't use it right now. Like it is totally like my fault and the issues that it's having. But that one, even though it's a tank printer, I didn't necessarily see like too many issues. But I also think it's because it's a pigment ink printer. With this being a thicker ink, they know that you're going to need a more powerful system to pull through a thicker ink. The other ones, I think they're just not strong enough. So I do not like Ecotanks. I mention them because as crafters, you guys want to hear that. You want to hear that you can do all these things with these really inexpensive printers. I sound like the crazy person because everybody else is telling you, oh yeah, get this printer. Oh, this is a starter printer. And true enough, I'm not going to say that. They are telling you it's a starter printer. But for some reason, in the mind of crafters and creatives, they think that this printer is supposed to last forever. You get kind of upset when it goes kaput. Because even at like $700, $800, that's a big investment for those printers. But at the end of the day, it's still a starter printer. It's not meant to last forever. It's the life of it can be a lot shorter than like other printers and more commercial grade printers. A lot of these desktop printers are just not meant for the long haul. But as creatives, you're like, we're like, okay, well, I want to get this and I don't want this to go out, especially in the middle of a job. I may not, I didn't plan to and saved up money to be able to get another one. I want this one to work. Like that is the mindset, but they're just not meant for longevity like some of the commercial grade ones that have technology in it that's meant to have it last for a long time. So Ecotech printers, the only Ecotech printer that you will ever hear me recommend is a 16650. Now, I hear really, really great things about an 8550. I personally can never test that out because I don't do dye ink. I do not do dye ink. other than my Canon one here, which is just for like regular printing of papers and stuff. But for actual production of things, I cannot do a dye-based printer. So I personally won't spend the $800-900, however much it is, for 8550 to really test and see, because I personally do not deal with dye-based printers. I have a preference. So it's really hard sometimes where I try my best to be unbiased as an instructor, right? So when I get the question of what can I use? Hey, you can use this, this, and this. But then I feel really bad because I'm like, if I say, okay, you can use this, I don't want people to feel like I'm endorsing these. I stand behind these printers that I'm telling you that you can use. I'm simply saying they can be used. Are they the best option? In my experience, no. But I'm also kind of privileged in that I'm not new to this, right? So I've had someone say that to me, oh, but you've been doing this for a long time. The things that you're suggesting, they're really expensive. I'm just starting out. What can I start with? So then I'm going to give you the, what can you start with? Are you going to get the same quality that you see me do? Absolutely not. Is it going to, will you maybe have issues? Yes. Are you going to have issues with colors? Yes, because you said that you don't have the funds to invest. You're just starting out. When I started out, I had printers that did not work well for me. And when I learned better, I'm never going back. I've been through that. I went through the using dye-based print. I had Brother printers. I was using like pre-filled, like, third-party cartridges for them. Even when you get the Brother one, they were dye-based ink. Whenever I was doing projects and I'm doing parties and I'm printing out centerpieces, I always have to go outside. I have to spray it with the clear spray. It has to sit outside so that smell isn't coming into the house, giving me a headache. Like, it was so much more work. Yes, I got the job done. Yes, I was able to make money doing it that way, but it was a lot of extra steps. The colors were not sharp and crisp. Like when I switch over to a pigment ink printer, it's like, dang, this is night and day, because I like a lot of matte paper. So it's a little bit different. I'm trying my best to be unbiased. So when you ask me, what can I use? Know that I am not endorsing it. I am simply telling you what you can use. Now, when you ask me, what do I recommend? My recommendation is based on the fact that I am not new to this. I'm not a newbie. I've been through it all. I've been through the highs and the lows. I've been through the troubleshooting. I've been through all of the issues. I've been through the misprints, the banding, the incorrect colors. I've been through that. So knowing that there are other options, I'm going to tell you what I would recommend, even kind of like starting out, invest in something that costs a little bit more money. Now, if you don't have that, you can use whatever your money can afford. Just know, I can't help you if you ever have issues with it, because it's like I told you so. Make sense? So if you just need a cheap one for invoices, I mean, guided, it will run if it gets wet. So like, I'll use this one as an example. I should get one. Actually, no, I don't know. Most of them, the black ink might be pigment ink. No, it's running. Okay, I see. It's just that it's really, really small, but I can see the ink running. I wish I had one that had more stuff on it, like a different color. I can probably print something else. You can see that it will run. Yeah, see, like now you see all of that black and stuff down here. But the Canon TC21 is the one that I have. Like when I'm just doing like regular like print stuff, I will use that one. They're not trying to keep an invoice forever. It's just that if that invoice gets wet or anything like that, the colors could potentially run on it. But I've been using the Canon, not TC20, the Canon G3272. Like that's the one that's in here. It's just a dye-based printer. And I've been using that for like quick prints when I'm printing out like just the rough drafts of like the guide for my book, my focus blueprint, when I printed that out just to see the layout, things like that, I'm using that one. But if that gets wet, oh baby, it's gone, it's over with. So can you put the sublimation ink in there? Yes, but the colors will be different than your workforce printers because of the two different types of ink. So you can always convert any Epson printer, EcoTank or cartridge. You can technically convert and put sublimation ink in any printer. But you now take the risk, it's a higher risk of clogs, and your colors will be off. That is a risk for you to take, okay? Now, this doesn't have to, all I see is Dawn and Teresa. You guys are more than welcome to jump in, drop your questions, drop your concerns. Something that, I mean, the things that you are afraid to ask, doesn't matter how small it is. You might think that it's an insignificant question. You will be surprised at the information that you get. So I thank you, Dawn and Teresa, for kind of, keeping it going and giving some things to talk about. And I love when you guys post follow-ups, right? So it's like, mentioning this and then like asking again for clarification. I love how she said that. So if I'm understanding you correct, like, if I understand you clearly, you're saying that I cannot, like, these are questions that you should be, asking to follow up to make sure that you are getting a full understanding of, whatever your issue is or concern, whatever your concern. I'm not going to say it's an issue or like a problem, whatever your concern is. You want to make sure that you are asking questions, and you got to ask a million times to get clarity and make sure. Ask the 30,000 different ways. That is what I do these live videos for. I come on live to be able to help you guys for free. I am not asking you for money. I'm not saying that you have to join my Creative Lounge, although I really think everyone should. We are going to be talking about, a little bit about like business. We have the Creative Business Program coming up where we're going to break down a lot of things that you need to know when it comes to taxes and marketing and branding and just getting started. I actually just I was kind of going back and forth with someone on a post. And so her post was pretty much about like business funding, right? So she's like, who can help me figure out how I can get a business loan or business funding? So I'm like asking some questions, and I know it can get frustrating. Like, you want to be able to do things in business, and you're thinking that my problem is I don't have enough money. That normally is not the issue, because once you get the money, you don't know what to do with it. You're spending money on equipment that you think is going to make your life better, but you don't have the customer base. You don't have the traffic. You didn't work on that part. You didn't spend part of that money for marketing and branding to make sure that you had customers coming in. You were not able to do that because you don't understand your business. Like, you're kind of rushing into it, and we're not thinking about business itself. Really defining our business. What are your goals? What are your visions? If someone were to ask you right now, what are your goals? It can't just be, oh, I just want to sell. I want to make money. I want this to be a full-time business. Well, what does that mean? How much money do you need that business to make, that after expenses, after taxes, you have a certain amount of money to take care of your household? The business money is one thing. I know, as crafters, right? We want to say it's a business, but for a lot of people, as a crafter, you're not really operating a business, because every dollar that comes in, it's like, okay, I can now use this for something personal, and you're not making plans for the business. You're never going to qualify for real funding because you don't even have a paper trail of how well your business is doing. It's all going into one account. You don't even have a separate bank account. Like, these are the things that I'm going to talk about in Creative Lounge for February. And then, it's a setup for the Creative Business Program where we're going to go through this. You guys have spent many, many, many years, many months worrying about all of the craft stuff and using stuff from the Dollar Tree. What's the cheapest? What's the this? And you're getting all of this knowledge and information. You're getting all the information about how to do content creation, how to make reels. Oh, you need to go live to sell your products. It's more than that. And I've been trying so hard to help you guys, like, with that information. Is it the sexy stuff? No. Is it boring? Absolutely. But it's information that you need. I have spent the amount of time I spent on the boring stuff, it's like to make sure. And what I'm doing is taking the boring stuff and I'm trying to formulate it in a way to where it's easier for you guys to digest, where it doesn't just seem like a bunch of like legal mumbo jumbo and it's like, what the heck do these words mean? So I've literally been going through like my books and things like that and doing a lot of research and then taking like certain areas and breaking it down where I'm like, okay, so basically what this means is if you do da 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 da, it's like, oh, okay, now I understand. But when you read tax laws, just reading it, it's boring. But I'm doing that for you. Like I'm reading the boring version so I can present it to you in a way where it's easier to understand. She says, thank you. I just pressed it. It is green when I press it. See, told you. I have Epson printers. Can you explain the difference between the Epson Color Control versus Color Sync? So that means that you're using a like with Photoshop and all of those, and you're going into there for those settings. So a lot of the times that's not really a like, because I'll say like when I'm printing from like Silhouette Studio or just printing from the drivers, that doesn't come up, right? That is within profile settings in programs like Photoshop, Affinity, and things like that. I don't really use those, right? Because it is hard, and it really doesn't matter for you if you're not using Epson's ink. So when you are using those, it becomes very, very technical because like the color sync is going to be for somebody that's using a color profile. So let me explain to you guys exactly what a color profile is, because there is this really big misconception about what it is. And then it's like when information like this comes, man, y'all aren't helping me. You aren't sharing it out. We're not, liking the video, leaving comments, tagging people, and people end up not getting this valuable information. And because the popular channels, the pages that you guys go to for all like the craft stuff, they're not going to give this to you. I don't know what more I can do. Like I've had dedicated videos about this. They still don't get the views. So I don't know what all I have to do to get this information to more people so that you fully understand. So when you're talking about someone that does like major printing, you have photographers and they want to have really great printers. I mean, great pictures. When you have major companies that have, like they're printing out banners and things of that nature, they're either using a RIP software, but they're also doing color profiles. All monitors are different, right? So I know some of you guys have heard me say this before. Some of you guys is going to be new, but this is a message I have literally been screaming to the top of my lungs for feel like the whole 10 years. Monitors are different. I give the same scenario. If you were to walk into the electronic section of Walmart, Target, Best Buy, at one point I used to say Circuit City because I'm old school, but if you go in there, you have all these TVs. You have 2D or 4K, 3D, 5K, ultra this, this resolution. Like you have ones that are LED, they're backlit, they're this, they're that. So all of these factors affect it. Your monitors are the same way. All monitors are not created equal. Those who are spending thousands of dollars on monitors, because there are monitors that are thousands of dollars. Not everybody is using a monitor that you got for $79, $50, $100. The higher the model and like the technology has, if it's backlit, how do you want it to look? Some people don't care about printing. They want the monitor itself to show as bright as possible. So there's backlight to it. So colors are going to look richer. They're going to look brighter. But when you go and print on a matte paper or even like a glossy paper, you're not going to get that same effect. Monitors are different. So when they're creating color profile, also back up, when you're printing to different papers, how something prints out on a glossy paper, a satin paper, a matte paper, a premium photo paper, like it's different. A linen paper, vinyls, it is all different. And your colors will look different from paper to paper, print setting to print setting. So what someone will do, especially photographers, those who are going to print portraits and photography and landscape and like just like you're going to print fine art, they have to calibrate their screen. There is a little contraption called a color monkey, and there's some other ones that sits on your monitor and it's like picking up on the color. They also have you print out this sheet that has colors. On whatever media you're going to print to, you print it out. You then have to take that machine and it scans over it to see how those colors are coming out. It's communicating with the contraption that's like on your monitor, and it's going to basically balance them out. So when we say color sync, it's saying you also have not just a random color profile. I have an exact color profile for this paper on this printer at this setting. So no matter what is on this screen, I need it to color sync to this color profile. That is what that means. So color sync does not work without a specific color profile. Make sense? Well, probably doesn't, but hopefully that explains it to you. And then the Epson color is just based off of how, like, whatever they tested. We don't know what printer, what monitor, all the different things that they tested with. So it's saying, hey, however Epson defaulted it, prints it that way, which the printer then doesn't become wrong. It's just not going to line up with your monitor. You can go and look at something on two different monitors. That printer is still that printer. It's not going to print out based off of that monitor unless there is a color profile for that particular monitor. Okay. Concerning the Creative Lounge and classes, I'm behind and need to know what's coming up and what should I be signing up for. Not sure. I don't know what you should be signing up for. I don't know what it is that you want to be able to do. What are your goals? What are your plans? What do you want to work on? I'll let you know if we have a class. Now, Creative Lounge is more so like it's a way. The original thing for Creative Lounge was kind of like mentorship, slight coaching, where you can come in, let me know exactly what your issues are, what you need to work on, because your help can be specific for you. It gave us an environment where you can get the help that you need for your specific situation, because everybody is at different levels. Everybody has different things that they're trying to learn and accomplish, but you are able to ask me questions based off of exactly where you are, where it is what you're trying to do, to be able to get some help and guidance. That was the original intention of Creative Lounge. You guys haven't really like opened up, things are happening. You moved, whether or not you're coming to like the sessions and things of that nature. So where we started to incorporate some things that will kind of just get your creative juices flowing. But at the end of the day, it was meant to be a coaching and help session where I am there to help you with what you need. Where I am at, like, I'll be honest, I could never go and share with you guys the things that I'm doing and just kind of talk from that perspective. You'll be like, ain't no way. Like, I cannot, no, I'm not at that point. I'm not doing this. I can't do that. For most of my students, like those who need my services, it sounds bad saying it, but business-wise, you're not at the same level as me. You're not at the same mindset, same thinking. You need help with the starter stuff. And that is what I specialize in. Like for me, I had to join a coaching program so that I can be around other people that have been in it for a while, that they're looking to invest money and spend money. When someone goes and says, oh, this is going to cost $2,500, it's not, ooh, that's too much. Like, I had to invest in programs where making other investments or paying for marketing, having to pay for, editors, and like, it's people that understand that you have to pay for that. I had to be like, I'm at a point now where I'm in a room with people who understand that you have to outsource help. You cannot continue to bootstrap your business to success if you're trying to reach 7, 8, 9 figures or whatever it is. You're going to have to do certain things to get more help in, outsourcing it or hiring people and paying people, and not seeing that as, oh, that's taking away from my household, that's taking away from my profits. No, if the business can pay for them, the business is making profit. You then need to maximize that help to make sure that it's bringing in enough money to pay them and you can do other things. So for me, I'm not like, so if I go and I started talking to you guys about, okay, well, you need to invest this kind of money for this, you need to get you a VA, you need to get an editor, you need to do this, you need to do that, get you a social media manager. It's like, oh, girl, I'm not, these shirts ain't selling like that. I still got my 9 to 5. So I cannot talk to you about the things that I am technically doing per se. Like, I'll let them know, like, okay, these are my routines. This is what I'm doing. Like, I'm blocking out my schedule. This is how I regain focus. This is how I'm marketing this, like how I'm marketing for one of these ventures that I have coming up. No one in my group is like in a space where they're building out. I'm going to tell you guys, like, just that you know, I am now in a process of building out what is kind of like a curriculum for early education, like basically from 2-year-olds to 8-year-olds. So like your preschool up until 2nd grade. I am building out curriculum and resources for that age group. I'm not in the space of, oh, I just want to make a shirt. I'm doing videos, so I have to edit videos. I have to do voiceovers. I'm doing a whole bunch of research for AI type things because of what I need to build out this curriculum to help kids that are like my son. That's not what most people who I'm teaching is doing. So if I come in and just talking about that ain't going to help you for you to be able to build to this level and either have you a major print shop. If you get to a point where you are servicing businesses and corporations, you're providing all of their business shirts, you're supplying for schools, you have to build up to that. It's not to say that it's impossible. If you're willing to put in the work, you can build up to it, but you have to set the foundation. My classes are about setting the foundation. So if you can't express to me what it is that you need, no matter what class I put out, there are some people, they're not ready, because I have some Shopify classes. Some people are not ready for Shopify, right? Some people aren't ready for the kind of marketing and branding that we're going to talk about, with getting a professional photographer to come in and do your pictures, having a professional editor come in and edit them down, how you're going to do your website. Everybody isn't ready for that, but I can help you get a level of success. Can you go and get 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures with your current mindset, having one printer, one machine that you barely know how to use? No, but I can help you learn to maximize those printers. I can help you learn to maximize that cutter. I can help you learn to maximize your social media page and your social media presence. So I can help you with that, but you have to let me know where you're at, where you need help at. That's what Creative Lounge is really, really for. Now, just for regular classes, we have the Creative Business Program coming up, where we are going to talk about proper structuring. What's the benefits of LLCs, S Corp corporations? Are you thinking about, okay, this is just a side hustle? Do you ever want to build a business where you could get investors and sell it in stocks? Then you need to maybe do a corporation. We're going to talk about the different things for that. We're going to talk about taxes and how to properly file, how to account for everything down to the average crafter. When they go and buy this to clean up their mats, they're cleaning up their office, they have a broom, they have bleach, they have dusters or whatever. They're not thinking to put this on their taxes for deductions for their business. Every single thing that you use for that business it should be on your taxes. So it's the breakdown of that. That class last time when I did it, it was $500. It is not $500 this year. I'm telling you that right now, because it's for those. If you're going to invest that money, you better be prepared to take action, apply those things, and do what you need to do to where that $500 is going to seem like a drop in the bucket, because you are going to gain the knowledge and skills that you need to make way more than that. That's where I'm at right now. My Cash App, it's HS Inc. 365. HSINK 365. I'm trying to learn the best options for printing. Printing what? What exactly are you wanting to print? Oh, okay, here we go. I see options whenever I use my, okay, so here's why. You are not going to see the same options. A SureColor is a commercial grade printer. The settings are different. A 7820 and a 7840, that is a desktop printer. It's not going to have the same options. The same way that like the SureColor F570, the way that its print settings are. So you have to learn the differences in those, what works for this one, what works for that one. They will never have, even though they are both Epsons, they're different types of printers. It's like more of a commercial grade, and the settings are going to be different. You cannot compare the two. You have to learn them separately. So now when I print from Silhouette Studio, it's in Caesar Lear. Wait, okay. So even with those, it can be slightly different and printing directly through those programs in how it might look on the screen, but the settings are going to be totally different for those two printers. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't find you 3 years ago. Thank you for that. Can you do a video on how to add an additional monitor so when on Zoom, I can use another monitor and be able, oh, I didn't do that. You just plug it in. Do you have a tower, or do you have like an all-in-one? Do you have a laptop? Do you have an all-in-one computer, or do you have like a desktop tower? Because that's the thing. Okay, can I do a video? Well, if you have a laptop, I may not have a laptop that's going to, that's going to look like yours. How old is your laptop? You have some laptops that still have USB cords. You have some that have just the C USB one. Some of them don't have HDMI ports on it. If you have like an all-in-one, that's different. So I have a gaming printer. So me trying to do a video on that, if your computer is not like mine, me doing a video is not going to help you. I understand you 100%. Now that I'm down my big printer, I have to outsource to get DTF prints or sublimation until I decide which one to buy. And that's not a bad thing, right? It may seem like for some that you are losing money when you outsource and you have to have someone. Now, it does kind of suck if the person is very, very far away and now you have to like wait for them to come in. If there's something wrong, you can't like get like immediate replacements and things like that. Because I've gone through an issue where I sent my DTF prints, I got them, it was the wrong thing, but guess what? He's able to print them out. Yes, it may have been like in the middle of the night I have to go get them, but I'm able to go get those prints still within like the same day, within 12 hours, within 24 hours. If you outsource to someone that is nowhere near you, then that becomes, an issue, which is why I'm always saying, look for people that are close to you. If we're in these groups, we should be asking questions like, who has a DTF printer and you live in blah, 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 blah. Make a list. You don't have to stay with the first person that you find. You want as many people on that list as possible. Go through Google search. Look for DTF printers near me, sublimation near me. You can call someone. I get calls all the time. Hey, do you do this? No, we don't have, like, they just want to print out like laser printers because ours says like print shop. So they'll call us for that. And it's just a simple no. Like, no, that's not a service that we do. But you never know who's going to call, you or others. I hope they have their information like on Google. They have it categorized correctly so that people can find them. That's another thing that we're going to talk about. Like, how do people find you on Google? Most people are going, like, they're looking for somewhere near them. A lot of people aren't always looking for places like far away. I know for me, I use Google a lot when I'm looking for places near me. Like, I use that a lot for that purpose. And I want to see who's near me, and I go and call. I spent the other day because I was trying to find somebody that did DTG printing. The project that I'm doing, I cannot use DTF at all. People think that DTF and DTG is the same. It's not. The way that white ink goes down is different. It has to be someone with a DTG printer. So I went in, put that in, and I'm literally calling. I called about 5 different companies. Some of them were like, no, we don't, whatever. And I'm like, well, why is it on there like that? It can be an error on Google and it picks it up, but I'm calling. and I had like 3 people and like, had to pay for samples. I wanted to see their work. I had to pay more. So it wasn't for an order or anything like that. They said, okay, you want a DTG shirt? I'm only getting one. I had to pay $30 at one company, $28 at another one, $40 at another company, just so that I can get a one-off sample of their work. But to me, that's not a waste because, I'm not making money back on that. I don't want to lose money. If I go, I'm like, okay, I don't want to pay that. I'm just going to go and send them this big job and it comes back all jacked up. So for me, my mindset says it is okay to pay $40. Yes, just to test out this company. I'm going to give them this $40 for this one shirt because it's a one-off. A lot of people don't like doing one-offs for DTG. You want to print more. If they're used to printing out more shirts, you're wasting their time with one shirt. So they're going to charge you more. I understand that because I'm the same way. So I don't mind paying $40 for one shirt, $30 for one shirt, 28. And the company that ended up working out the best was not the one just because, their sample was 28. They actually had one of the on the bottom end of quality. The one that was like third, like the mid-grade one, they actually were the better one. Like, well, they two are the same, but I'm like, based on the prices, I'm going to go with this particular company. But those are things that I had to do. Like, I test out companies. I don't test them out with an actual order. I just send them something. I don't care what it is, as long as it looks like the thing that I need, just so that I can test it out with them. But outsourcing is not a bad thing, guys. It is not. Do you profit as much? No. But you also don't have all of the liabilities and worries of owning that printer, keeping up with the maintenance, having paper on hand and film on hand and all these different things. So it is okay to outsource. I have someone that I outsource with whenever he needs to do his mugs. He sends me the files. I print them out. He comes to pick them up. His job is simply to press those mugs. That's it. He doesn't have to worry about a printer. He doesn't have to worry about maintenance for a printer. He don't have to worry about clearing out clogs and all that stuff. I'm the one that has to deal with that. All he knows is, hey, I order it, I pick it up, it's perfect. I don't have to spend hours fixing a printer. Outsourcing is not a bad thing. Don't think of it as a bad thing. Hell, you might get to a point you realize, man, all that stuff that I went through and I had the printer, this life is so much better. It's so much better. If you ever actually took the time to calculate. So sometimes we're looking at it, right? And we're like, but I can make more money. But from that money that you charge, right? It may seem like you're making more because you didn't think to calculate your ink, your paper, your maintenance, and all of these things, where from that total order, part of that technically should be paying for that, right? You should be thinking about, if I had help, if I had staff, I'm paying for labor. What would that look like? That's all outsourcing is doing. That is still a cost for your business. It's just not staying in-house for you to pay that back out. You just have to get the thing and worry about the money that you are going to make. Thank you. Using my laptop. So there are ones that are, okay. So now my question to you is, for a monitor, do you want a large monitor, or do you want, are you okay with a little small flip out one? How large of a monitor would you like to have? USB, but I have an adapter for, I guess the C-USB, but I have an adapter for USB. So do I plug the monitor into my laptop? Yes. So there are some, the ones that I have to have an HDMI, and I also have to plug it in via USB in the back of the printer. So you have the back of the CPU, right? So it's two things that plug in, the HDMI as well as a USB from both of these monitors. So if you're getting a monitor like that, you have to look at whatever monitor you want to get. What are the requirements for it? Most of them are not going to work with the C type, right? You may have to get an adapter, and hopefully your computer has the HDMI. If it doesn't, like my Dell doesn't have, is it in here? It doesn't have an HDMI. There is this little adapter thing that I have. It's a C type. And from that C type, There's another C on there because you're taking that one. There's a USB, and then there's an HDMI. So you may have to get that adapter for your laptop if the monitor that you want needs an HDMI input or output. That was my next question to the group. Who is close to me? I'm an out. So you're not really like here is bad because I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't have a whole lot of people watching. This is where you want to come into a group. And look, I'm not ashamed to kind of say like I do all this stuff. I'm great at what I do. Like I'm amazing at what I do. I don't know why the algorithm doesn't work in my favor. I don't know why people don't post in my group. I'm like, I've said it. You can post here. You can interact here. You can drop your, your creations. Like I don't get the post to see all of you guys are taking my classes and think I know that it's working. I see you post them in other people's groups. I'm like, well, damn, why did I get that post in my group? So I don't know. I will tell you. Don't come to my groups asking for it. Like, go to some of these bigger groups where there's more engagement and ask in there. My group ain't the one asking. I'm just being honest. How come your comment won't come up? Which one won't come up? I'm not sure. What comment did you make? Try it again. It won't let me put in your Cash App. Hold on. I'll put it on the screen. I don't know. Like, I know some people like ask for it. Like, people ask for it, like I put it up. There it is, going across the bottom. All right, let's see. It has a USB-C port on my MacBook, but I have an adapter for USB. So yes, you just have to plug it in. Well, if you have to have the right adapter, you have to see if the monitor that you want. So there are some, that's why I asked the question, did you want a large monitor or did you want a small one? Because there is a flip one that it just takes a power cord and I think it's a USB. And they may have but it's like, it's really, really small. It's like flip, it'll attach to like your laptop. You put like a little adapter on it, it can flip on there or whatever. You just kind of like unplug it. So there's that one, but it's a really small monitor. If you want like a larger one, those normally do need a HDMI port. This is just a live Q&A, my love. How are you? Oh no, see, it's not on this one. But yeah, so I gotta find that adapter. But like this laptop, it doesn't have any USB. It just has like the C types on there. It has two. So I can have this one like this for my mouse and stuff. And then they have one on this side. So you then end up having to get the adapter that has HDMI, USB, and another C type. And you may have to do that for the monitor. Or you'll have to get the one where it's like a hub. Dang it, do I have my hub in here? So I have one that's a hub and you plug it in and like it has a longer cord and it kind of sits off to the side. That one might have 2 or 3 HDMIs, 2 or 3 USBs, a couple USB-C type, and it may also have like the SD card. So like with the new ones, you don't have a slot for, this one has an SD card, but not a micro one. It's only the big one. So some of them don't have it. Some of them have the micro SD like right on it. So there's a bunch of different adapters. Go to Amazon and get one of those adapters. Yeah, if you have a hub and it has that on it, that's all you need. Later, Jesse. But yeah, girl, I'm just on here trying to do my thing and be present and to help folk. Don't know what all I have to do. I don't know if I need to be running ads just for people to come to my live videos, but I do what I always do. I show up to do the live Q&As to help as many people as possible. There's tonight is a good number of people that are watching, but people just aren't talking. They're here just looking, I guess, just hoping for a great gym, and they're not engaging. If more of the people that are watching would at least just say hello. Like, I don't even know why they're afraid to just say hello. Tell me what system is it that they're using, what frustrations. Heck, talk about some good stuff. You guys can come on. Maybe I don't say it enough. What good has happened to you guys? So let me do that. I'm always thinking about helping. Maybe that's where I'm kind of like, I know I asked you guys in Creative Lounge. We always started off, what do you guys want to share? Did something good? What's a win? Maybe I should do more of that. Like, what's a win? That's one of you guys. Do you want to share that? Did you experience something and you felt like you were alone in celebrating it, and you didn't have people that understood how big, that situation was? To them, it's like, okay. But to you, it was big. If that ever happened to you, you can come on here and share a win, because I've done that with other people, and I will celebrate, and I will, give you a big up. I'm going to clap. I'm going to celebrate you. Woohoo. I'm going to give you encouragement. So if that's the case, you can always come over here to get that love, get that encouragement as well. But I know in my mind, I normally kind of come on. I'm like, let's just go ahead and figure out what you need and how can I help you. But that's what we're talking about. That's what I'm doing tonight. Just what I always do. Make myself available to help you guys, as long as you are seeking the help and you reach out. And of course, to promote my business. Like, let's be real. At the end of the day, I'm on here. I'm here to help you. But I need to get y'all enrolled in the Essential Silhouette Studio. I need y'all to go buy this Focus Blueprint. I need y'all to enroll in Understanding Canva 101. I need y'all to join the Creative Lounge. So at the end of the day, as much as I want to come on here to just help, if I got to keep promoting our amazing sublimation paper and ink, our classes, our digital files, our template vault, I'm going to come on here. 2 people, 3 people, 100 people. We're going to talk about the business. This is one of the ways that I use to market and promote, and that is through live video. But at the same time, you are getting something out of it. It's not just me coming on here and just talking about myself. She said, look, I've been doing the damn thing, and you really have. Yes. Oh my gosh, you really, really have. Hey, my bad. I saw it and I started to type, and then I got it. And that's the thing, like, I'll get distracted. And if, that's where a couple hours later, feel free to tag me. Did you get that figured out where it was taking forever to print? Because I meant to come back and say, cancel it out. If there were other things, because I'm notorious for, sometimes I'll go to print something, and like, let's say I opened up a template and I'm just going to change it out. Well, I still have all of that data from the other one, like all the pictures, and that will slow it down. So sometimes if you just kind of cancel the print, go in, and there's been times where I've had to completely shut down the computer. Like, I can't get the print to stop. It's acting dumb. So I just got to shut it down, start it back. Those things that are on auto recovery will just pop back up. And then you want to just take that file and put it in its own window. And a lot of times that will help. If it doesn't print from there, save it as a PDF, print directly from the PDF. That helps also. She says, yes, she does. She loves to celebrate wins. Hello, hello, hello. How art thou? She says, if you didn't answer, I would have put the ink in the wrong printer. And this session may have been just for you to keep you from making that mistake, which is why I show up. I don't care. Like, I will continue to talk about ink from now until Kingdom Come. I'm going to keep repeating it. I know for some people, they'll probably come in and I'm talking about ink, and they're like, oh my God, here she goes talking about ink again. I don't want to hear this. Not knowing there's an opportunity to get so much more information. Not everybody heard the information, or maybe people heard the information, but you kind of tune it out. It's like in the back of your mind because you don't actually need it. So now it's like, okay, now I'm in that position. Let me make sure. So I will go. If I had to talk about ink every single day for the rest of my life, for those who did not know, and to keep them from making a mistake of putting the wrong ink in a certain printer, I will do that every single day of my life if I had to. Incredible greetings. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. How are you guys doing? Oh, so also I need to go back and post it, which I did a couple of times. I am a practice what you teach. I'm actually going to do it right now while it's on my brain. To post. We're gonna go. Actually, no. And I'm gonna do like I teach my students. I'm gonna go and copy the exact same post that I already made. I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna go to my notes because I copied and saved it, and I'm gonna post the exact same post. Boom, there we go. So what I was just sharing was the fact that I have embraced the fact that Canva's not going anywhere. And I created a group dedicated to Canva and demonstrating things from Canva. Now, this is going to be an opportunity for me to do things differently and do things the way that I wish I would have the first time around. And yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say like about it, where it is for Canva. So I started my own group for Canva with teaching and how to use it. I still have my Canva one-on-one. We actually have a live session on Wednesday for Canva understanding Canva. Is it this Wednesday or next Wednesday? One of these Wednesdays. There we have a Canva class. Like it's like a continuation, just kind of re-going over Canva. Because the main one is there. So I'm going to go over some key things, open it up for questions for Canva. But I did start a group for Canva. I am going to be sharing some things, but I also want to see like questions. And I'm just going to run this group how I wish I would have done the first two and just like a lot of other different things. So yeah, that group is open. If you click you have to be on Facebook. If you click my profile picture, you scroll, you're going to start to see more posts just like, of the group. It's called Canva Can't Do That. Was it Canva Can't Do That? Hold on. Understanding Canva. There we go. Yeah. Canva Can't Do That /understanding Canva. So that is the group for that one, for any of those who are interested in just kind of learning the beginner parts of like Canva. Like this is strictly for beginners. Like, or I'm gonna say that because there might be some things and you might run into some stuff, but it is not this. I don't know how to, but like I said, if you want to know about Canva, just join it. But I am running this one how I wish I would have did the other ones. Let's see here. I haven't used my Epson 2760 or 2720 in a while, and I need to flush the line to print. How do I do that? There really is no such thing as flushing the line. So you haven't used it. When you go to do a nozzle check, or Have you done a print recently and is nothing printing whatsoever? Have you done a nozzle check? Are some of the colors missing? Are some of the colors broken? What exactly is going on with the printer where you are considering like flushing the lines? Can I email you a screenshot of my Silhouette Studio screen? It's doing something crazy. It has a black line going across where the open file name goes and a white line down the middle of the page. I don't know if that would be a Silhouette thing. So is that every time you open it? So if you shut it down and open it back up. So if you shut down your computer, turn it off completely, open it back up, does that happen every single time? Because you're sending me a screenshot, it might be like an isolated thing. You won't know until you go and see if it's happening every single time. Does that happen in any other program? So it's not that I don't want to help, but I don't think you sending me a screenshot is really going to help, because all I'm going to be able to do is tell you exactly what I'm telling you now. First line of defense, whenever you have an issue with your computer, you can't figure it out. If you shut the program down, open it up, and it doesn't clear it, then you need to shut the computer down. Yes, that means you have to save everything else and all this other stuff, but that's the only way to really test it. Shut it down and then open the program up and see if that comes up. If it, then look at another program. Is that showing up on any other program? If it's not, and it's just that one, it might be that particular version. So that's when you're going to have to either downgrade to another version, maybe update to a different one, because it might be the actual version of Silhouette Studio that you are using. So you send it to me. Would it really help? We can help you right here. I have shut the program and the computer down. Still happens. Try a different version of Silhouette Studio. Should I start with Canva 101 buddies? Before taking your current. So the Canva 101 is the same one. So like I only have one. I don't have other classes like how to design business cards, how to design flyers, how to design backdrops. I don't have all of that when it comes to Canva. Some people jump the gun, and the reason why they can't figure out how to do these things and is because they don't understand Canva to begin with. I am teaching the basics. I don't care if other people are teaching all this other stuff, because guess what? I've seen so many people take all of these major classes and big classes and learn how to make memorial and this and the third, and they still come back with the same basic level questions because they never took the time to understand Canva's limitations and what it can do and what it can't do, what it works well for, what it doesn't work well for. So I am sticking to my guns on that. I know it's going to be an uphill battle to get people to embrace and understand the importance of it, because they just want to do the fun, sexy stuff. But I'm going to stick to my guns. And this is like the group is more so about the things that you cannot do and just helping you identify what you can't do. What are some alternatives? Sometimes it's going to be going into a different program. Canva is not a one size fit all. It's not going to work for all of your needs. You are going to have to use other programs. So Canva 101, understanding Canva, it's the same one. I'm just adding on to it. So when you purchase it, you will get to see all of the sections and all of the playbacks from the first time that we did it. When we have the next live session, I'm going over a few things, within that one. That's going to be on the playback. I'll do another one, hopefully promoting it to get new students in. My goal is to get in students every time I start to talk about it. And right before I do a live session, I'm getting in new students that's technically paying for my time, where anyone can come to the Zoom sessions, but I have to have a certain number of new students every single time I run this. So we're looking to get new students in so that we can go and teach it, and we'll teach a little part of it. And then, you have all the playbacks. You can ask questions. The next month or the next time we do it, it'll be on like something else, like just understanding the basics and the foundations of the program before you can move on with doing all of these other things. If you join the group, there is a discount code to get the class for 50% off, 40%, 50% off, I think it is. So there is a discount. You join the group, you submit your information and all that. You can get in the group and you can get that code to receive a discount on the Understanding Canva 101. And we have a live session, but when you purchase it, you can start to go through that and just kind of get the information on what Canva can and cannot do. Creative Lounge is also the place to be. That one is a monthly subscription, so you're paying for that monthly. If you just want to try it out, I highly recommend just doing the month to month, trying it out for 1 month, $36.50. When you sign up or try it out for that 1 month, you can watch as many of the videos that you can get done in 1 month. You can attend every single live session that we're going to have for February or whenever you join. So someone sees this video and we're past, because our next session, we have sessions every single Monday. If we're past next Monday session, someone sees this next week, Thursday, well, if they pay for a month, they're going to get to come live the 2nd and 3rd and 4th week of February, maybe the 1st week of March. Like, that's how it works. You get a month and you'll get your month of free live videos. So it may not be just all of February. If you signed up in the middle of February, you're going to get February and you're going to get to come to some in March. But try it out for 1 month. It's on 365 Creative Academy. No, the code will not be on your dashboard. It's not going to be on your dashboard. If you're so your dashboard is just your classes. If you have, so if you have Creative Lounge, you can get Canva 101 for that discount is always valid. It's always valid for whatever the discount is, right? It's always valid. The one that's inside the group if you're in Creative Lounge. But there is an exclusive code in my new group. Canva can't do that. So you have to join the group to get that code. If not, you're going to just pay full price. So it's not retaking it. If you feel like you would benefit from hearing that information again. So you enrolled in the course. So I'll ask it, and I need you to be honest with me, right? You enrolled in Canva 101 when I did it last month in January, whatever it was, right? So you took Canva, was it in December, whatever it was. You took Canva 101, right? You attended it. Maybe you attended the session live. Have you gone back and watched the playbacks? Have you taken notes? Have you applied some of those things? Have you gone into Canva and you've been designing and things like that? And that information has been helpful for you with utilizing Canva. So that's my question to you. You enrolled in it. You took the class, but are you applying? Do you feel like you understand Canva when you go into Canva? So you may not need to retake it. Have you gone back and watched the information in there? You have access to the playbacks. So retaking a class, if I'm being honest, it's not going to help you. I'm not saying that you can't come. just by you being in that one. If you go to your dashboard, you're going to see that next Zoom. You are more than welcome. You are invited to come to that class because it's available to you. Anybody can click on that Zoom link. If you are in that class, whether you took it the first time, after I do this one, it's going to be people, okay, the second time around when I'm going through it, I'm going to have another code. And I'm not going through it where, okay, well, I'm doing a class this month, it's a new link. I'm doing a class this month, it's a new link. I ain't got time for that. It's like, it'll be too much on the dashboard, too much to keep up with. So I'm marketing it. I'm advertising it. I'm looking to get new students in to justify me doing another live session, right? So this is the same way that the other people that took it the first time, they had an opportunity to be in the room. I'm going through the information and they can ask questions in real time. I am giving that opportunity to others as well who have been in groups or they're watching videos and they're always like, man, I wish I had someone to really teach me this. You know, it's always can somebody come to my house and teach me? Well, this is the equivalent of that because I'm giving you the opportunity to ask questions, whether I'm in your home or online. If I'm doing a class where you have the ability to have the opportunity to ask questions, you can unmute and ask the question. It is no different than me being in your home, but you have to take advantage of that. So if you go and you sit in the class and you just sit back and you don't post questions in the chat, you don't unmute, then it's not going to help you. That means if I would have come to your house, what would you have done? You just wanted me to hold your hand and move the mouse? No. So I do these sessions live all the time to give people an opportunity to attend. The information, how you're going to learn from it, if I'm again being totally honest, y'all know business called honesty speaking. You don't a lot of people don't learn when they're in the live session. It's getting an understanding, it's getting comprehension. How you're going to learn is once that live class was over with and those playbacks were available, I'm going back in there. I'm going to listen to it. I can pause it. I'm going to write some notes. I'm going to go to Canva. I'm going to click and see what she was talking about. I want to do this. Oh, that makes sense. I can't click on this. Oh, I see what she means. I can't do this to the text. I can't do that. I can't separate it. You have to go back and watch it. For any class that you have of mine, if you have not been back in there to watch those playbacks, simply coming to the live session is never enough. You got to go back and watch it. You have to. So yes, you are more than welcome to come. If you have not gone back through it. Now, that's the core. What is there is the core of understanding Canva. So now with the next round of it, I'm not going through all of that again because guess what? That playback is there for you to go through it. I'm going to go over some things. I'm going to have more areas for Q&A. And then let's say next month we do it again. I'm going to advertise it. I'm going to be trying to get new students in or whatever. For the new students, this will all be new to them. It might seem kind of like, okay, well, where's part one to this? Like, where's the real beginning? But again, they had access to watch all of the beginning from the playbacks that are there. That is the core. Same thing with Essentials of Silhouette Studio. 30 days, that is the foundation. That is the core. You can always go through that. You can, eventually you build your way up, watch the things in the 14-week refresher, watch the 10-week refresher. It's never a bad thing to get more and more and more information. Practice. But you can't say that you took a class if you did not go back and watch the playback. You have to do that. But yes, you are more than welcome to go to your dashboard, see the date, sign up for the Zoom. Come on and join us in the Zoom. Yes, I learned how to use the elements, how to open a template and edit it on my own, how to change colors and upload photos and designs. I don't have to always design from scratch. I can just search for a design and then edit it. You can, and a lot of people do that. But there's things that you can't do. So there are some people, they're on that level, yet they're still asking questions in group. Like, how do I get this to where I can put an outline? It has a background. They don't know about that. Like some people, they're using Canva. They don't realize that background remover is a pro element. So they're seeing people constantly saying, oh, remove the background, remove the background. People are not always saying you have to remove the background with Canva Pro. They're just saying you can remove the background with Canva, so they don't see it. So then there's going to be other things like editing files. Like, how can I change the color of just this? If you, the video that I just posted, the very first one that I did, someone had some basketball lines. They were trying to split it in half. In Silhouette Studio, you put a box on it, you subtract it, boom, it's done. You can't do that in Canva. That's not what that program is intended for. So you have to, there's certain workarounds. You may have to go into another program to be able to do it. Those who just want to use it as plug and play, you may not need this information. Some people do. Like, it's information in there, how to tell the difference between something that is raster, something that is vector. Hell, some people don't even know that those are two different things. It might be a question of exactly what is raster, exactly what is vector. Like, people will ask those questions. What you learn to do is how to use it. You were never taught to understand Canva, to understand how to design in it. You just simply learn how to plug and play with elements and change things up. But when you run, so you may not have run into an issue where you're trying to do something and it doesn't work. One of the most common issues that I see, which that's probably going to be my next video, is people will go in there and they have a frame and they want to put something in it. Now, in Silhouette Studio, you can go and you can put it on top, you can squish it and get it to fit in there. Might be squished, might be stretched, but you can do that. Canva, you can't. So they'll try and put this thing in that frame and they don't understand why is it not working. Then you have some where it is, let's say I had one person, it was like a circle, but it had all this other stuff around it. So when she put it in the frame, it's going to adjust to all of that negative area. So in the frame, that circle looks small. So if you don't know that it's not, you didn't do anything wrong. She thought she did something wrong. No, there's certain steps that you have to do. So you have to click on it. You have to go into what's the crop stage, and you have to increase the size to where all of the white stuff, like the white negative area, was outside of it, and you're stretching it until that design fills the middle. Those are things where people do not understand. So someone can tell you, oh, they have frames. If you want to add a picture to something, you put a frame, you add the picture to the frame. Well, what happens when your picture doesn't fill in that frame the way you thought? That's what I mean by I'm teaching you to understand Canva, not just use Canva. Big, big, big difference. But it is on our website. Like I said, if you join the our new Canva group, Canva can't do that. It's on my page, or if you're just on YouTube, go to Facebook and search Canva can't do that. I'm debating on whether or not I think I do want to have a YouTube channel to go with it. But Canva can't do that is the Facebook group. There is an exclusive code there. But the class itself is on our website. You scroll down, past the paper, past the ink, the focus blueprint. That's another one. Y'all need to get it. Even if you just get the workbook, get that focus blueprint. Right under that is understanding Canva, the printable color chart. So it's on there. The regular cost is $30.65. $30.65 is the cost for understanding Canva. And if you're going to do buy now, pay later, it's $35.63. If you want to use Klarna or Afterpay, you have to go to 365 Creative Academy to enroll. But they are there. And the next session is coming up either this Wednesday or next Wednesday for the next live session. But you have immediate access to all of the playback stuff right now. Okay. All right, I see. Whoa, it was a big jump between the platforms. We have some new folk on. Hello, welcome in. I am Shakia the Professor. Our company is HS Inc. I do these sessions to help you guys where you need help at, no matter what the question is. We haven't had anyone ask the question where I had to show Silhouette I had to show Photoshop. I had to show Canva. We haven't had that question yet to say, hey, can you show this or demonstrate that? You're more than welcome to ask those questions. I come on to help you where you need help at in your creative journey. If you're trying to start a craft business, a side hustle, you're just doing it as a hobby, you're learning a new thing. If you were doing vinyl shirts before, now you want to move into printed shirts, you have questions about which printer to use, which ink to use, what paper to use, what type of paper do you use when it comes to chip bags or obituaries? These are questions that you're more than welcome to ask on here. Now, I won't always give brands. I'll give you information about the type of paper. You got to do a little bit more research or join the Creative Lounge. In the Creative Lounge, I give brand recommendations when you're in the Creative Lounge. But here, I'll just guide you in the right direction to help you with your research so that you don't make unnecessary wrong decisions. You don't make unnecessary purchases. You don't put the wrong ink in your printer. So that's what these sessions are for. It's to help you as much as I can, technically for free $99, unless you want to be like Dawn and send some money to the Cash App. She says to buy me some coffee. I'm going to take you up on that. I'm going to Wawa's as soon as we get off of here, okay? So if you want to kind of do that, but I'm here to help you. It's no obligation to send money to the Cash App, but it's always great, even if it's $1. If I have 100 people watching, 100 people send $1, hey, it's $100 I got for my time. Everybody send 50 cents. That's $50. That's still something. We can't go and think, oh, well, my little $1 isn't going to make a difference, when if everybody went to my Cash App and sent $1, hey, that helps for me being on here free. But again, it's not required. I want to help you. Where I will get more value at is, if you trust me enough to join in one of my programs, you invest in yourself to learn more about business, about designing, about printers, about processes and systems and strategies and all those different things. We have a lot of different classes for you to join, okay? But the floor is open. You are more than welcome to ask questions. So that's going to probably be my last time saying that, because I hate feeling like I'm pulling teeth to get you guys to ask questions. You are here. I don't see your faces, but to me, the numbers on the screen represent faces. That means you are here. You are listening to me. But listening to me just kind of say these things doesn't make this video very helpful. Post a comment. I'm not here just to promote. I do promote my business. But I also, my first order of business is to help you. But if you're not asking questions, I don't know where you need help at. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get into doing party favors? Are you trying to learn how to do these jumbo cards? Are you trying to learn how to do the custom trays? Are you wanting to make, I'll tell you, when you speak up, one of our students said, I want to learn how to make the custom footballs. Do you know what our creative challenge is for February in the Creative Lounge? Custom footballs. She said, this is what I want to learn. All right, cool. I got no problem teaching you. So that is what we're doing. Now, it's not going to be, everybody don't need to know how to make footballs, but she was bold enough. She said, hey, this is what I need to learn. I want some guidance. I want to make sure I got the right tools. I'm using the right techniques. Yeah, I'm probably going to have some trial and error. It's not going to be the greatest, but at least I'm getting the information on how to do this effectively and efficiently. Say less. Creative challenge for February, we're doing custom footballs. Learning what materials to use, the best way to cut it. If you're going to do a manual cutting, I got some information on some other things that you can use, but you got to show up. All right. Nobody had questions. I gave y'all, I rambled to give you guys time to type it in. But I don't see any questions, no concerns, no issues. All right. If I need to wait for you, say wait. If not, we're going to close out. All right. Can I at least see a show of hands? The information based off of those who were brave enough to ask questions. Did their questions and the answer to their questions help you? Because you sat here and watched. So I don't know if you were what you were hoping for watching it. If any of that helped you, can y'all at least let me know if that information was helpful for you? If you didn't, not to the people that asked questions. Obviously, the information was helpful for you. The people who are just sitting in the back watching, not speaking up, not asking questions, not taking advantage of this opportunity. You sat and watched for an hour and 40 minutes. Was that hour and 40 minutes worth it to sit in the background? The information you got sitting in the background, was it worth it? Okay, I have a question. In Silhouette Studio, how do you add lines under an image? For example, like Flash running with lines behind him. Okay, so I think that you're wanting it to be a specific way, because if it's just a line, you make a line. Is it that you're wanting to make it thicker? Is it that you want the end? Like, let me look for, I guess, an image of Flash. I like the example. So let's see. Flash running clip art. Let's do this. Let's bring this over here. Let's go present screen. Why do it seem like my head keeps dropping? Like I feel like I'm so low. I don't know why. Okay, let's see. Maybe if I just, okay, that was probably what it was. It was pushed back. I'm like, why do I seem so low? Okay, let's go share screen. Okay. Are you talking about more like this? Are you talking about just lines like this? Are you referring to, let's see here. Are you talking about the lines like this? So there's lines here. There's these. There's this. What are you referring to? There's these lines. So we say lines like, I mean, some people go and they're going to just tell you whoever, whatever, based off of what like maybe they have in their head, but that their answer may not help you because that's not what you were thinking about. So for me, I am that person. I'm going to have a follow-up question. I'll give examples. I'm going to just ask more to make sure that we are on the same page and the information that I am giving to you is accurate to what your question really was, right? Let's see. The first one, like this, you mean? Or you mean when I showed this, not because this is really the first one that I kind of clicked on, but you're wanting to know like little lines like this. Now, why is this not? Oh, it is. It's right here. Okay. Okay. No ink is coming out. If I'm being honest, you may not be able to recover those printers. They're not like the workforce printers where you can simply push air. You cannot just push air through the tank because it won't get through the lines. You can, open it up. You have to do a whole bunch of stuff to like take off this and the third to get the cage off, get to the print. Well, actually, yeah, to get to the print head and all those things. If it's the ones where it doesn't really stay open, you got to try and prop it up. When you prop it up, you can end up knocking out this one cable, and then now the scanner doesn't work, and eventually the printer goes out. It's not an easy thing to open that up and like go back in there and try and at least force the air through or like clear a print head. Those printers, to be honest, once you let them sit, they're no good to you, if I'm being totally honest, okay? So the little lines, all right, is what he said. Okay. A couple things that you have to, I'm going to copy this because it's not a matter of just showing it just to, okay, I'll explain what I mean. I'm going to paste because that picture is kind of small. I want to blow it up so that you can see. Silhouette Studio is a vector program. You are not going to be able to truly create a may not be able to create a gradient like this that's going to fade off, right? You can make it fade to white. Well, and like this is a JPEG, so it's a little bit different. You might be able to use like a fade bar and crop it to it, but you cannot create a faded line in Silhouette Studio. When you first create the line, it is going to simply be a sharp line. You cannot weld, you cannot merge in Silhouette Studio. So all of those lines that you will create will never be a part of the actual image because you cannot merge. Merge and weld are not the same thing. Okay? So that's like the first that you have to, I just want you to understand that part. So you can somewhat do something like this, but you're going to have to create each individual line, place it, send it to the back, either crop a gradient inside or crop a, what's what I'm looking for? A fade bar inside. All right. So I want you to see that. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to try and find one that does not have lines on it. Okay, so let's just say this one. All right, I'm going to go save as because I think this might be a true PNG. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And then we're going to bring that down into Silhouette Studio. Okay. Now, there's a couple ways that this can be done. At the end of the day, it's not a line, right? So when we're looking at it, you see it as a line, or like your question, ends up being a line. There are line tools, right? So you click on this, you can make a line. Not going to help you. You can't fill a line in with color. Okay, let's go ahead and make this thicker. We'll make it 5, right? We still cannot add color. We can't add a gradient to this line. Line colors are simply line colors. Fill colors, we get gradients, we get patterns. Lines, you will never get that option under line. It is simply color, right? And you can't really adjust it. Now, if you have Designer Edition, Designer Plus, or Business, the average user doesn't use this. Most videos don't talk about it. There are line shapes. So you wouldn't have to, like, if you had the free version, you would need to either go to Polygon and you're going to go like this and like pull this out, bring it back like this so that you can create this line that technically could be filled with a gradient, right? And then it can go like that. That's one of the ways to create it. With a line, there are line shapes. So you could have gone like this and it'll be like a little bit more rounded. It won't be like so pointed, but you still can't fill it in with a gradient. That's when you would use things like detached lines. These are things that we teach in Essentials of Silhouette Studio. You don't have to wait for a class. These are things, and these are kind of like, of course, using it in a form of like a specific design, but when you come to the sessions, you ask these questions, you can share your screen, but the core of this, going in, talking about a line, using detached line, it's in Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Use it, y'all. Like, get the class. Get the class. Information like this is not found on just a video of someone doing a tutorial. Yes, my videos, they're here because you asked a question, I'm going to answer it. But you're not going to find this information on anybody's just, oh, let's just do a random YouTube video about lines and detached line. They're not going to do it. Get Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Okay? But you can do detached lines. This now turns this into a shape. It's no longer a line. If I were to go to the line tool and I was to change the color, I cannot, right? It's going to now just give me an outline. It's going to give me a line to the outside, okay? But I now can take this and I can fill it in with a gradient. All right? I'm going to go ahead and flip that. And now I can change this gradient. So if you have to sample the colors, so if I wanted this to go from, let's say, this deeper red here, I'm going to do one that's going to be like the bright red. Let's just choose a couple different shades and tones of red. All right. And I'm going to save these to my color palettes. Now, okay, don't go. I can go in here. I can go to my gradient. I can start here, and I can tell it I want that darker red. Oh, I need to flip it. Hold on. So that means it's actually flipped the other way. So this is going to be this one. I'm going to go in. I'm going to put in a darker red, the lighter red, and then this one might be like white. And I need to like move these around. Send that to the back. Oh, I forgot to trace and detach because it's an invisible box. So let me trace and detach this first. You can now make it wider. You can make it thinner. You can make them shorter. So it doesn't fade off to transparent, but you can have the white to where on something white, it looks like it's fade off. But if you have like, you're using like Photoshop and things like that, where you can go, or even like Illustrator, you can go from a color to transparent, it really fades it off. But this is technically still a solid line. But I can go here. We'll send those to the back. We'll make them shorter. So that's essentially how you would do that. They will never be attached to it. But now, like if you save it as a, you know, of course, it's like now it's just it's composition and layout. Like how far apart are they from each other? How many do you add? As you can see here, they're staggered. So learning to make them is one thing. Learning to arrange them and understanding the design component of it, that is something different, which is why I'm always saying learning to do something or learning how to use tools and functions is one thing. Design is another, which is why I advertise them as two. I have them as two different classes. I do not, when I have a design class, I'm showing you the concepts of design. My goal is not to teach you the foundations of a program. You should already know that. But now I'm able to teach you okay, if you want this look, as you can see, these are not all the same thickness. They're not all the same length. That is a design component. So now we're talking about composition and layout. You know, some of these up here are red. How do you know which color to like choose? Because there's an outline, but this isn't like that exact color. Then it comes to like the yellow and things of that nature. Those are design techniques that you talk through and you kind of break them down. But making that little line is not necessarily design, because that concept can be applied to anything. Make sense? And so you, if you want to kind of just keep them all together, you have to group it. Whereas if I were in Photoshop, I can weld it where those lines become a part of the image. So now all I can do is group it. You don't want to weld, because if you weld, they all technically go away. Like it's, you see the lines that come out there, but there's nothing there. So they're just going to go away. Merge is different in a program like Photoshop. Some people think that they're interchangeable, or that term when you go to different programs and it's not. Okay. Great question, Stanley. Thank you. That's the type of questions that I love. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now that was a question. That was fun. Thank you so much for that. Right? That was a great question. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Exactly. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Thank you. You are very welcome. Now, ones, I know you didn't really ask for like that one, but just because I can't help but teach, the ones like this, you would not really be able to do in Silhouette. This is something that you cannot do in Silhouette Studio. You cannot do in Canva. This is, you have to have like, it's a certain like blending feature in programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, even Procreate, things like that. So that right there, not really a Silhouette thing. It's like using a brush and pulling it out where it's not all uniform. Ooh, this one right here, if you want to do that, that is some of the smaller ones, kind of the same concept with the gradient, and then having bigger boxes in between and putting that gradient where it starts to fade off to white or to no color. All right. See what happens? Like, now that one should have been, everybody should learn from that. Who learned something from that question? Because last time y'all did me dirty. I mean, y'all didn't even comment. So that means nobody learned anything from the questions about printers, the questions about colors for sublimation, where it printed blue, but she needed green. Y'all didn't learn anything from those questions? Wow. Wow. You asked the question. I said anyone that did not ask questions. Of course, you guys benefited. You asked the question. So I had asked anyone that did not ask a question, who's not participating in the Q&A, did you at least learn something? You asked a question, ma'am. That's the thing. I don't want to see y'all names. I want to see the other 30 some odd people that are watching between all the platforms. I want to see some of their names. I saw y'all names already. Love your assistance. I'm often on my TV and had to go find my phone to let you know. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge. I gain a lot from the questions you answer. I appreciate it. Okay, now see, that's one of the things that gives me a good, like, now I know all the people that are watching that, like, in that situation. But if you are someone where it's like, okay, I'm not watching you on a computer that has a keyboard or my phone that has a keyboard, I happen to throw you up on the TV, right? So I'm watching you on the TV, so it's not the same. Now that is a little bit different where it's like, okay, maybe 2% of the people that are watching it from a TV. They don't have their phone in their hand to respond. And like, that helps me because I did not think of that there are people that are just watching it on their television. So thank you for that comment. And that kind of calms me a little bit. Thank you, but I'm still seeing the same names. That's the part that's sad for me. I see the numbers going up, yet I don't see new names. That really hurts my feelings. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts my feelings that I cannot get people to actually engage with me. It really hurts, and because of that, and now I'm venting. This video is definitely going away. I'm not leaving this video up. I might try and pull out some of the pieces from it, or see if MJ wants to edit it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, because I'm a little sad, this video will not stay up. I don't know what you mean. I'm usually on my phone and can't ask questions or comment. I don't understand that part, because if you're on your phone, it has the keyboard. So I'm not sure I'm quite understanding that. Like, or like you mean like you're at work or something? I mean, I know, but if I'm being really honest, I've been on for 2 hours. A lot of it was me like saying, guys, ask the questions, ask the questions, ask the questions. This whole 2 hours is not like one of my classes where the class might be 2 hours, but it is information, information, information. Like in class, I'm not waiting for y'all to ask questions. I'm going to move on to the next thing. So if a class was 2 hours, if it was 3 hours, it's straight fire the whole time. Here, I had to kind of wait. You know, people ask a question. I can't just move on. I have to wait for them to respond back to me. So there was moments where there was like dead air. And I feel like in this video, there's more dead air and me complaining, I guess you would say. That's some people will see it as complaining than actual help. So yeah, this video doesn't, it's like taking up space for no reason. No one's going to go back and watch this. You're usually driving or working. That's why I came on the weekend. So I know sometimes you guys are, but that's why I did this session. I'm like, it's after 6 o'clock. More people should be home. They don't have the excuse of, you know, I mean, some people could be driving, but like less likely. So this is why I came on. I've tried my best not to just do them because, yeah, I get it. A lot of people are either driving to work or they're at work when I go live at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I get it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I get it. Or if I do a lunchtime live, you're at work, whatever, I get it. But I try my best to do some evening lives, some Saturday lives. This one is a Saturday evening live, hoping that you guys would engage more, but I don't see that. So just makes me feel like I don't need to do as many of these anymore. But I'm going to go. I'm telling you right now, don't look for the video. I'm actually going to delete it before I even get off. So Facebook will be the first to go. Oh, what? Wow. And okay, pause. I don't know what it is. I feel like it sucks for me to have to vent. And it's almost like, do people come across the video and they don't have the full context, right? They might just see me and I'm being very, very animated. And I'm like, well, you know, and it's like, I feel like that makes people stop because the way those numbers just jumped up between, because you know, on your end, you may not see the numbers, but I'm actually on 3 different platforms. So I'm seeing the numbers like fluctuate. And I'm like, I see that a lot. When I'm going in, I'm like, okay, well, that's like I feel like I have to like vent for people to even like click on the video. It's so weird to me. Like, and then it's like, sometimes I know some people may see it, the numbers will go up, but they're just kind of passing by. But when I see those numbers and they're consistent, that means, okay, you came by because what, are you nosy? But we're just watching, we're just looking. So you see the numbers, but then you see 5 people. Out of all the people that it's showing, I'm seeing 5 people that are commenting. It does make me feel some type of way. And like, I have to go through this whole thing to get people to actually talk to me. Like, then that's why I question myself. What am I doing here? It's like, what's the purpose? The same thing I teach you guys. I feel like I'm doing counter that sometimes because I'm like, girl, you're doing a whole lot for some people that don't care. Okay, so what's good vendors for long sleeve t-shirts and polo shirts? So here is where I now have to like educate. This is true. The average person is going to ask, what's a great vendor? That's not the right question. It's now a matter of what brand, because there's a bunch of vendors that sell the same brand. They may have, like, you know, one of our favorites is the Core 365. They're polyester shirts, right? So now my follow-up question is, okay, a polo, there's cotton ones, there's blended ones, there's all polyester ones, there's like tri-blend ones, there's different ones. Who is it like? Are you looking for a variety of colors? Are you looking for ones that, well, all the polyester you can sublimate? These are now questions. So it's like, I get the surface level questions, but I'm always going to come back because I can't just answer that way. When it comes to long sleeve shirts, is there a certain blend? Are there certain colors you're looking for? Are you looking to stay within a certain price range? Because there's going to be some that I might love them. I like the feel of them, but they might be more than you're looking to spend. We have to go deeper. Like, we have to be more specific when we're asking these questions to get, I guess you say, the right answer. I'm doing air quotes because there's really no right answer. And as far as vendors, that's not going to help you. I can go and tell you Jiffy shirt. Jiffy has polos. Jiffy has long sleeve shirts, all day shirts, Shirt Space, SNS Activewear, Sanmar. These are all places that have both of those. That's not going to help you because all of those places also sell the same brands. And there's 1,000,001 brands out there. What is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for a more economical shirt? Are you looking for a cotton shirt? Are you looking for specific colors? Are you looking for certain size ranges? Because there are some polo shirts, I have to use certain brands because they will have a 4X, a 5X. And there's other brands that pretty much stop at 2X and 3X. This is why I'm always asking follow-up questions. This is why I have my creative business. This is why I have Creative Lounge, because then I can really, really get to the root and ask questions and figure out what is it that you actually need. Because I can't really answer that question just with, okay, yeah, go to Jiffy Shirts. That could have been answered. You post it in the group, they're going to tell you Jiffy, Sanmar, SNS, All Day, Shirt Space. Those are all places you can go. But when you go on there, you're going to see 1,000,001 brands. Does that really help you to know to go to those places? Nah, y'all say it's not the case. I know for you, you might be benefiting from it. But when you think of it as a whole, I could have been doing something else for 2 hours. That could have been a money-making task. When you go and it's like what your intended purpose for it was, and you're not seeing that, it then feels like wasted time. I don't mind answering the questions, but it's like, dang, I gotta pull it out. I'm just seeing you went live. I don't get notifications sometimes. And that's for the reason too, like I purposely plan to be on for an extended period of time because I know that they play with my algorithm. Okay. I know this. People are not giving. That's why I did the post where I was like, take me off of just following. Put me in your favorites. In order for you to get the notifications, you have to change how you follow me. It's not enough to just follow me. You have to put me in your see first. You have to put me in your favorites. That way it lets you know when I drop new content, when I go live. Because if not, I'm just mixed in with all of your other content. Okay. So she says cotton or blended, size small, white in color. Are you looking for a certain price point? Trying to find one that's good quality, but within a reasonable, but within reason to make a profit. You can make a profit off of anything. If you buy a shirt and the blank is $20 because this person wanted, because if you go, there's places, people think that shirts like Adidas, Nike, that they're only sold in stores. No, they're sold in retail at stores. You can go to suppliers and you can buy a Nike polo shirt. You can buy a polo shirt. You can buy an Adidas shirt wholesale. So now if you're giving someone a Nike shirt and you're adding to it, you're not going to charge them, $15, $20 a shirt. So if we say, I want to make a profit, those who value quality and they want a quality shirt, there is no rule that says when you're doing these shirts, they got to be under $25, under $30. You're getting a Nike shirt, you can go sell, like, put whatever you're going to put on it. That shirt to them might be $50, $75. Because if they go buy a regular polo shirt in the store, the retail value of a plain Nike shirt, retail value can be $40, $50. But if now you get that Nike shirt from a wholesale distributor, from a wholesale supplier for, let's say, $15, but now you're adding something to it. You can charge that same $50 that they would have paid in store for it to be plain. You're charging $50, you're still making a profit. So there's always room to make a profit. That is one of the things that I never understand when people say that. I want it to be reasonable to make a profit. You make a profit because how you make a profit is how you set the price. But if you're in your mind, it's like, oh, well, the people on Etsy are only charging this. I only want to charge that. I want to be competitive with the people that selling $25 shirts instead of marketing to the people that want to buy 50 shirts. You're never going to feel like a quality shirt will help you make a profit because you're trying to figure out, how do I give a quality shirt for low budget prices. Not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, I usually get online and that's how I see you. I never get notifications, so I'm changing it now. Awesome. Within 10 to 12. Okay, so when I can go through and I'll show you like shirts and things like that. So we'll go over it. So I'll just take you to Jiffy. That's one of the places because they have a lot of shirts. You might choose to go through there. You might find a brand, you're looking at it and you want to try out, you want to look at other places. One, the price is going to be different from place to place, right? If you're buying it by the case, there are some places where you're going to get a better deal buying it by the case from them. And then for some, it's going to be shipping. Like your decision on who to choose might be based off of you're in California. You may not want to order from somebody that's on the East Coast because you're going to pay more in shipping. Not everybody offers free shipping, especially if you're only ordering a few shirts. How fast do you need it? Like for me, I'm in Miami. We have is it SNF Activewear or Sanmar right here in Broward County. I can order by a certain time of day, drive right up there, pick it up. So for me, there might be other places. It might be a little bit cheaper for me to go to Jiffy or go to Shirt Space or whatever, but I also have to wait for it to come. So for me, it's going to be beneficial. It's worth it to me to pay an extra $1, $2, because I can go and pick it up right then and there. Like there's a lot of factors. This is the things that I try and teach in my mentorship about shirts, like how you think. It's about mindset, how you are approaching these things. All of these little things matter. It's not black and white. I know no one wants to hear that. They want to ask a question and they love the coaches. They love the content creators that's going to give them just an answer like, yep, just go here. I can't do that because I feel like that's irresponsible of me as a teacher, as an instructor, as a mentor, as a consultant. It is irresponsible of me to just say whatever and not figure out what you actually need and put you in the right direction. Because at that point, I'm just sending you on a wild goose chase. But there's so many factors to these things. When I was looking for shirts, I looked on there. There's all these different brands. I ordered one of each in different sizes, different colors. This is where going to trade shows, investing some money, most of them are free. Sometimes you have to travel because they're not coming right to your city. But guess what? You have a business, you write that off. That becomes a deduction. Go to these shows where you can see all of the colors. You can go, you can feel the different brands. I cannot stress it enough. The importance of going to shows, especially the ones that have garments and things there like Impressions. A lot of like clothing vendors and things like that are at Impressions. Printing United, they have some shirts and stuff, but they're more so like about like the printers and actual printers and stuff. But we'll go over to Jiffy. I'll show you like just a couple of brands and you can kind of see what that price range is, okay? I appreciate your honesty in providing good, thorough information. You are very welcome. All right, let's go over to Jiffy. So we're going to go down to shirts and we're going to go to polo. There's 448 different listings for shirts, for polo shirts. 448 different listings. If we go to long sleeve shirts, right? So you're going to go to, like, you can go to t-shirts. You may not see it here where it's going to say like long sleeve. You then end up having to go into like the type of shirt. So you can do it by color groups. You can do it by collars. You can do it by fabrics. You can by thickness, sizes. It's going to show you all the different options where it has a tag off, if it's a tagless, if it has a tag in it, by brands, by logos, treatments, like all these different things. There's 103 options for sublimation, safety shirts. So if we go into, even if you go like into t-shirts, they'll have one that then goes and says like, boom, see, for t-shirts, is it a short sleeve? There's 584 options for short sleeve. There's 202 options for long sleeve. There's 109 options for performance. Performance means that it has polyester in it. There's tank tops, and it shows you all of these. So if you wanted to go into long sleeves, I'm gonna do like this because I'm gonna go back to the polos. So we're gonna come here, show all. We're going to go to polo shirts. Once you go polo, do you want short sleeve? Do you want mesh? Do you want performance? Long sleeve, jersey, stay dry, with, without pocket, sports, raglan, stripe, safety. There's a lot of questions to this. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what the job was for. But when we join Creative Lounge and you're in there and you're able to say, hey, professor, okay, so I got this order. This is like the company. This is what they're looking for. This is how they're going to use it. They're looking to order like so many, whatever. What's going to be my best option now? And see, that's a lot to try and type out. But you join the Creative Lounge. You come to those sessions. You get to ask those questions that way. I might have a couple follow-up. Guess what? You answer that back immediately. You're not typing it out. All right, let's go over here. Okay, we have this, and this, whatever. While I'm going through, I might be asking some more questions about the client because we want to make sure that we're getting the best option. When I'm teaching in creative business, I showed them one time how I set my sheet up for a school. So I pulled a couple different options for shirts with different price points. I broke down, okay, this is this fabric. It does X, Y, and Z, the size of it or the length of it, the weight, because some shirts are not the same. They're a t-shirt, but they're not all cut the same. Do you want one that has it's longer? The sleeves are longer, the sleeves are shorter. So I had all these different options. I presented that to them. I then went and got a bunch of different like different shorts, showed them the price. I did the same thing when it came to a high school and for the math department. They wanted polo shirts. Okay, here are all the different options. This is before designs, all of that. That is a part of it where I'm going to present to you all of these different options. And that puts that in their hands to decide how much they want to. The problem with, and I need y'all to look at me when I say this. The problem sometimes with you guys as crafters, you're thinking about crafters and the things that you want to make for yourself. When you are in business, it's not a matter of, oh, it's my way or the highway. It's what I want. No, you give them options. That is how you are going to secure a job. However you can take a DTF print and put it on a $2 shirt. It doesn't change the fact that you put it on a cheap shirt. They're not looking to spend a lot of money. You take that same DTF shirt, you put it on a shirt that may cost you $10. Does it change the DTF process? No. But is the value of that shirt now different from a $2 shirt to a $10 shirt? Yes. You take that exact same DTF print and you put it on a $500 shirt. Did the DTF process change? No. But that customer said, I don't want a $2 shirt. I want my design on a $500 shirt. Well, you know this shirt is $500. So that means you're going to end up paying me $575. The shirt part, it's not on you to pay for that. If they want it on a $500 shirt, what is your cost to do the work? What is your markup or your setup fee? Your markup cost for the DTF print? What is your overhead? What is your cost every time you drop down your heat press? So if you have that, it doesn't matter if it's a $2 shirt or a $500 shirt. Now, if you're doing a $500 shirt, I'm not going to lie. I ain't really finna do this because you take more risk, right? And that messing up, you are taking a bigger risk, so you want a little bit more money. But let's say like those mid-grade shirts, if outside of the cost of the shirt for the actual work that you're doing, you're making $5, it doesn't matter. So now if we're going to say that, and let's say we add on overhead, we have like the difference now will be like the markup, but the work itself is $5. The shirt was $2. We do like the markup and you kind of have to have like your the markup, your upcharge for certain things. So let's say it went from, if you base off of retail, that would have been $10, $8. So now that's like $6 on top of the actual work. So now that's $11 that you have made. Now, if you go that would be, I said, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So That would have been $13 for that shirt because I put it on a cheap $2 shirt. Now, if I go and I get a shirt that is $10, depending on how you're going to do the markup, 3.5 times 2 is different than 3.5 times 10, or even 2.5 times 10. So that's going to change what that price will be. But you're using the same exact model, whether it's a cheap shirt or a expensive. Now, $500 shirt, I'm not going to really do like the same type of markup. You just got to be very, very careful with doing that shirt. And that's normally a special, something like that. It's not making a bunch of shirts. I'm letting you know that you have to pay $525 or $550 for this shirt, and they're going to pay for that. I'm just going to put it on there. But like, that's a whole story in of itself. But that is what determines your pricing, not how cheap this shirt is. If you buy a shirt for $10 versus you seeing a shirt for $12, it doesn't mean that they're both sold at $25. You may now need to sell, if you priced it or you figured out based off of a $10 shirt, but you're now paying $12, but you price it to the customer at $25. Guess what? That shirt now becomes $27. Your shirt, your material determines it. Your processes, how you have it set up. How much are you charging for labor? How much money have you assigned to like using your heat press, your setup? What is your overhead? Do you have rent that you are paying in a building? Are you doing in your house? Your overhead is lower. You might come down. This is why y'all need to be in creative business. Like somebody that's really going to teach you business. All these other ones, they just teaching you how to craft and telling you some random ass numbers to go and stuff. They're not teaching you how to actually run your business. But when I go and I do it, y'all don't want to come. It's too much. You want little cheap classes. And they just gonna go. They're gonna tell you how to make a jumbo card and say charge $25 for it. Okay, they saying it. Ask them if they sold you for $25. Most likely they haven't. But anywho, I said I'm a little rant. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go here. So you see, you have $11. Jersey's brand, $8.41. Gildan, $9.24. You have another Jersey's that's $13.82. Same brand, but it's going to be different quality. So this one has a pocket, so it's a pocket jersey polo, Sport Shield. This one does not. So just for that lets you know, only difference, unisex, Spot Shield, pocket jersey polo. Unisex, Spot Shield, jersey polo. The only difference is a pocket. The only difference is a pocket. And it went from $8.41 to $13.82. This teaches you, or should show you, that for them, they're seeing it as there's value in having a pocket. Somebody that needs that pocket because that's where they're going to keep a pen at, or something's going to go in there. When it comes to those in golf, they need to be able to keep that little pad to kind of track stuff. That pocket becomes so valuable. It is a small piece of fabric. The shirt, when they made it, it's made the exact same way, because a pocket is put on after the fact. So these shirts can be made the same exact way. But because I took a little piece of extra fabric, did it and stitched it up on a pocket, like on the chest, it goes from $8.41 to $13.82. Y'all see that? Let me see. Did I do so the blend? So with the what's names blended shirts, we're cutting it down. We're now down to 15. So I think you said a blended shirt, cotton or blended. Okay. So now we're here, right? So now you're down to basically 15 options. And then within those 15s, we're also talking about kids, ladies cut, things of that nature. I could have went here. So if we go to adults, it's going to have the ladies shirts as well. Or actually just went to all men. I don't know why I did all men instead of that, instead of like unisex. So you go in and you're clicking in these categories. These are now your options. You got a Hanes, a Port & Co, jerseys, Port & Co. Something's missing. There was another brand there. Oh, there's Sports Tech in the The men's have sports tech too. Oh, because I chose blended. That's why. Okay. That's why I'm like, where are these the other options? It was because I chose blended. Okay. So that's what it was. So once you go and you're putting it in, it's going to narrow it down for you as far as what your options are. So go through Jiffy, you can go through Shirt Space, then you have to then decide on which brand you want to use and how much you want to spend. And then if you look here, like you have some brands where this is jersey, where it's the polo one with no pocket. Look at all the colors that they have. But if the person needed, like they're asking for a pocket, this particular option, you're limited in colors. So you have to take that into consideration as well when you are choosing a brand. Not every brand has every color that you are looking for. If they need a specific color, you might be limited to one brand no matter what the cost is. Make sense? Are these any? Do you guys? Is there anyone that this is a part of your normal thinking when it comes to selecting things? Are you thinking about all these factors, or was this eye-opening for you? Like this was like an aha moment for you? Who here having the information and seeing that breakdown and the different prices, that was an aha moment for you? I don't even know if they sell the one we use. Core. Oh, they do have it. See, and for some reason that didn't even come up. Like this is the brand that we use. Yes, it was truly an aha moment, eye opener. Cool beans, cool beans. And then you would do the same thing for like the long sleeve shirts. So let's say, so there's a soft cotton, there's a thick cotton, there's a value cotton, there's a 50-50 blend, there's heavy cotton, medium cotton, light cotton, moisture wicking, eco-friendly, 100% cotton. Then there's like polyester, poly cotton. What is it that you're looking for? Vendors mean nothing. You have to know what is the quality of shirt, what's the features of the shirt you need. You can get more of this breakdown if you join the Creative Lounge. We do this every single Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When I tried to do the daytime one, well, it didn't really work, so I just kind of keep it to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But every single Monday. So join the Creative Lounge. We have challenges. This month we are doing the custom football. Do I make them? No, I'm not a big, like, I know how to make them. I've done them before. Is it something that I market and sell? No, I do not. But it was a request to learn how to do it. So I am teaching it. So I don't want to give that disclaimer. Just because I'm going to teach it doesn't mean I'm saying, oh, yes, this is it, and everybody needs to sell these. This was a specific request. Somebody wanted to learn how to make them. So we are doing it in the Creative Lounge this month, the third Monday of the month. We are doing the football. How do I join the Creative Lounge? So glad that you asked. You are going to head over to 365 Creative Academy. All right. I will drop it in the chat. I don't think it shows up. Uh-oh. I don't think it shows up everywhere. And I'm not sure if you can actually click on it. But our page always has it. If you know where our classes are, that's where you're going to go. So you're going to find everything, or go to the shop site. Because this is a class, or this isn't like a class, It's something that's ongoing and we meet several times. It's a subscription, so you have to sign up for it. So you're going to go to all courses because it's not here. So we're going to go to all courses, or you can just search it. And then you're looking for this icon right here, Creative Lounge. You're going to click on that. And you're going to come down here. You're going to see all of the different payment options. If you want to do an automatic payment every single month, the first month is $45.63 because we've been in this for several months. You will now have access to so much content. So that first month is a little bit more. But guess what? I'm the opposite of other companies where they keep going up and up and up. After that first month, a lot of people will do like a trial. You're going to come in, you're going to pay lower, and then it goes up. We kind of get you on the front end because there's so much valuable information. So you're going to pay $45.63 that first month. Each month thereafter is only going to be $25.63. If you want to just try it out, you want to see before you commit. Now, I will say, even though it won't be your first month, ain't nothing I can do about it. If you come in $36.50, you decide, oh, I like this. This is where I want to be at. When you switch over to the month to month, you still gonna pay that $45.63. I can't do nothing about that, okay? Because that's just how it's set up. I don't have a thing to say, okay, well, I'm gonna come in because there's no way of doing that. So whenever you do it that way, you're still gonna pay that initial $45.63. So you can do month to month and just try it out, and that's $36.50 a month. You can do it for a full year, it's $265.63. You can do it quarter to quarter, means you're not going to commit to it being reoccurring. You're going to sign up. Okay, you're going to get 3 months. And after that 3 months, you will lose access to all of that content. That one is $83.65. But if you decide that you want to do 3 months and it's going to be reoccurring, so you don't have to think about that. It's going to be on your credit card. It's going to be reoccurring. You're going to save $10 by doing it that way. You set up for 3 months instead of doing month to month to month to month. All right. So those are your payment options. Once you click on one to, like, let's say we do this one, you're going to have options for, oh, I'm already signed in. So let me do this. Let's sign out. All courses. So let's say I click on this. You're going to see here, you're going to have the option of using a credit card. It's going directly through your bank. You're putting your bank information. You can pay for it with Cash App. You can do it with Google Pay. Then you have options such as Affirm. It won't let me do it, but Affirm, you can see it switch. There's Afterpay and there's Klarna. So if you want to do buy now, pay later, those options are there for you, but that's only when you are doing the one-time payment. So either for 1 month, the one time for 3 months, or for the annual, it will give you that option to just break that up with Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna. If you choose an option that is going to be a reoccurring, you do not get those options. Oh, you also get PayPal if you do that way. But when you pick any of them that is a month to month, you're now limited to using your card, your bank, or Google Pay. You don't have the other options. So if you need to use PayPal, you have to do month to month or 3 months to, quarter to quarter. You have to do it that way, or annual, yearly to yearly. You have to do it that way if you want to use Google or any of the buy now, pay later options. But if it's reoccurring, you have to do credit card, bank, or you can do Google Pay, which still connects to a card. All right. Those are your payment options. I'll go back to this so that you guys can see how much is here. It says 141 lessons, 44 hours of video content. Is actually more than that because of how some of them are. But you have the customized notebook, which doesn't just apply to back to school. You can use that information anytime. These are all of the different protocols that we have, and like the playbacks for them. There's actually more than that. I'm not sure why it's not showing like all of them. This is the one for, show more. So we have some of this is the access link, the Zoom links. So we have the Creative Lounge session on motivation, all of those parts. Etsy versus a standalone site, all about cutting machines. So review all of them. Which design platform best fits your needs? So we're going over Silhouette, Photoshop, Canva, Illustrator, things of that nature. Then we went through 15 ways to decorate garments. So we're going through with your home printers, going over DTG, DTF, screen print transfers, screen prints and screen print transfers, sublimation. Day 2, we went over HTV, eco-solvent, white toner transfers, rhinestones, embroidery. Then we went through the truths of DTF. It's some important information that you need to know about saving your DTF prints. And you get access to watch all of these playbacks. Are you ready for an e-commerce site? So we went through that, benefits of sites, vendor fairs, product base, understanding the build out, all those different things, low cost marketing strategies. We went through those. Then we did the understanding Canva, the design challenge 2, cutest pumpkin. So there's a lot of information that you get access to. We still have to go over, like, that's this month, because I had to push it back. We were supposed to do it, I think, in November or December, where we're going over websites. So we're going over websites this month. We're going over the creative challenge is the football, and we're going over websites this month because that's like a makeup from before. And what else was this month? And then, of course, we do a pro call, which is like the general Q&A. And what's the other one? I gotta look at my calendar, but I know those 3 for sure. All right. So that's Creative Lounge. It's worth it. 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 I'm telling y'all, it's worth it. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Even if you just do 1 month, invest in yourself and go in there, get information, come with pen and paper. If you're only going to stay a month, have pen and paper ready to take down as much notes as possible, because it's not like other classes, because you're not paying for just that class. The more you have your subscription, you're able to kind of go in and look at certain things. With this one, once it is over with, you stop paying, you lose access to it. So it's not a class. It is a subscription. So if you've taken our classes and you're used to paying an amount and being able to go back and watch it, this is not. You have access to it as long as you are paying your subscription. Okay. All righty, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace. Oh, don't forget to join the group. Canva Can't Do That. That's the new group. I'm teaching some Canva. There's an exclusive discount code over there for Canva 101, Understanding Canva. There's a live session either this Wednesday or next week Wednesday. Go check that out. But join the group if you're over on Facebook. Canva Can't Do That is the name of the group. Okay? Peace. Oh, wait. Not yet. I got to remove this. Facebook, you're going to lose access. Now, YouTube and them, I'm just going to put it on what's the name so that I can go back and edit it. It's a public group, so technically you should still be able to be in, like, go in there and see stuff. But yeah, I didn't see any new ones. When did you request to join? I didn't see any new notifications unless you just did it. Oh yeah, you just did it. I'm here, so but you should still be able to see the stuff that's there. She says, the question says, how did you find the Canva Can't Do That group? The professor told me. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I just approved you to, I'm not sure if you have to be in it to like answer questions, but now you're in the group. Okay. All right, y'all. Those who join the group and I get your information, you get exclusive like information. Those who just kind of come in the group and just kind of browse around, you don't get the exclusive stuff. So, all right, y'all. Until next. I know I saw while y'all was live. I've been on for a long time, almost 3 hours. Peace.